Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for movie news headlines, new movie news headlines. Yes, we talk about all the new movie news headlines, including Aquaman 2, Lisa Frankenstein, Running Man reboot. Hey, they're going to reboot the Running Man? Cool. Hocus Pocus 3. We got various horror headlines, Pain Hustlers. What's opening up this weekend, guys? Five Nights at Freddy's is opening up the big Halloween horror fest. Is it? Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's just get into the review right up off the bat here. Five Nights at Freddy's. Arglass put some pizza there in the live chat. Pfeiffer says audio video is good. Excellent. So let me get prepped here for my Five Nights at Freddy's review. Is that popped over enough? There's enough. You can't see. Okay, yeah, that is. That poster's fine. Let me make sure that everything is working here properly. All right. Let's pull off that. Whoops. And we are ready to rock and roll. Got to turn off the YouTube chat for a little bit, James. Let's get ready. Five Nights at Freddy's is out this weekend, guys, and are you a fan of the game? Are you hyped for this movie? Yes, when I went out to see it, a lot of people in the theater were like clamoring for this. A lot of young people. I underestimated the anticipation for this film, Five Nights at Freddy's, based on the video game. A troubled security guard begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. During his first night on the job, he realizes that the night shift won't be so easy to get through. Pretty soon he will unveil what actually happened at Freddy's. Yes. Now, guys, I thought this was like a first-person game where there's like a security guard or something, and the lights go out, and you walk around the Fazbear's Pizza there, and the animatronics come to life and kill you, basically, right? They hunt you down, they scare you and stuff. I said this in my straight out of the theater reaction. This is not a terrible movie, but it's also not all that scary. It's softball horror. And what I mean by softball horror is that if you find the animatronics creepy, that's probably about as scary as you're going to get. They try to do a lot of flash scares, so it's kind of like we're talking on there's a big scary, well, sort of scary face. This door closed really quickly. That kind of a jump scare that you're going to get. And that's what you're going to get for scariness. Is there potentially some brutal stuff that did happen or could have happened in this? Yes, but the story really isn't about what's going on at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, when a lot of the bulk of the movie is all about Josh Hutcherson's character and him dealing with some PTSD about his kidnapped brother. And he's just down on his luck, so he's got to take this nighttime job at Freddy Fazbear's place. I don't know if that's the way that the game went. I don't feel that it did. So they try to add in some dramatic stuff, which is fine. I think you do need to add, like, for character, you have to add in the backbone of some kind of other element. But once you get into that background of, he's dealing with some psychological issues, it's kind of like, I would prefer to see that movie rather than, you could just totally jettison all of the animatronic stuff, because you get so engrossed in him trying to figure out what happened to his brother, and you're like, you get invested in that. A lot has to do with Josh Hutcherson's performance, which I was worried about going into this, that it would be just kind of like a throwaway performance, and it's not. And the girl who played this sheriff also did a good job. She caught my eye. So looking at her, who does she plays Vanessa, this Elizabeth Lale. Matthew Lillard is kind of like the guy who gets him the job at Freddy Fazbear's. But this Elizabeth Lale, she'll catch your eye too if you go out and see this. Console Girl, You, Macarita, Robot Chicken, Ordinary Joe, Gossip Girl. So she's done a lot of TV stuff. She caught my eye, and I want to see more from her from this movie, Five Nights at Freddy's. So, as I said, I don't know that much about the game. I just, I said that it's not a terrible movie. So let's try to begin filling out the score sheet here. Acting wise, Josh Hutcherson brings it, and so does Matthew Lillard. So I'm going to give acting, directing, and story out of a possible 2 points each. I'm actually going to give acting 1.5, despite it being kind of like all about jump scares, because as I said, there is that other narrative in there, the more dramatic stuff, where Josh Hutcherson actually really brings it. Hutcherson, right? Directing is where it falls flat on its face. Directing and the execution of that story, it felt mixed. Like, as I said, there's that dramatic story, and then, oh yeah, I forgot, this is supposed to be a scary movie about animatronics coming to life, and you're like, I think a lot of people are going to find that confusing. A lot of people won't like that mix, because that's a delicate mix that you have to put together. So, could I possibly give a little bit more? I'm giving it because of technical aspects. The cinematography and score are at a possible 1 point each, and they were serviceable. So the directing was able to handle it well enough that I think I got to dock the directing for some pacing issues. This movie is a little bit long. There's definitely a lot more of this that could be cut out, but then it becomes almost like two movies. And as I said, that disparity there is going to really throw people off for that element. And based on that, it's got an interesting premise, which gives you 0.5 right up off the bat. Do I want to revisit it? Could it be, is there a potential there for a better story to be told? Yes, there is. So based on that, I would give 4.5. Cinematography and score are, yeah, serviceable for this movie, Five Nights at Freddy's. So if you get the impression as to where I'm going with this, it's middle of the road fair. Let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying about this movie. Oh, mercy. 26% by critics, 81 reviews. Let me refresh that. We'll take a look at the snapshot reviews. Okay, so it is going up. No, it's not. 26%. It was 21 yesterday, wasn't it? Emma Tammy directs, and I don't know if this is going to be good for her, man. Let's take a look at somebody who didn't like it. From Detroit News, saying, only fans who come to hear the game's catchphrases and callbacks will feel seen. Anyone else is better off bellying up to the bar at their local Chuck E. Cheese. IGN Movies didn't like it. Expanding the game's simple primal premise will surfeit of character melodrama with a surfeit. See, again, you're trying to use big words there and trying to sound like you're, I don't know. No, that doesn't work for me. CNN, a weird horror concoction, fleetingly clever in early going before gumming up the gears down the home stretch. Yeah. Richard Krause liked it, said fans of the video game may get an extra charge out of the film's Easter eggs. Yeah, you do get the impression that there's a lot of Easter eggs. Director Emma Tammy provides fan service while the screenplay Cawthorne, Seth Cudback, and Emma Tammy go hard on the psychological drama. Movie Freak, who liked it, said, my inner tween went wild on multiple occasions, and if I'd been introduced to Freddy Fazbear and his pals as a kid, it's safe to say we'd have been horror-loving friends for life. Guys, I don't know the market to this, and I'm going to tell you this. I think that Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be immune to criticism. It's going to be one of those movies where it's the go-to Halloween movie of the season. So despite the 26% there on the tomato meter and me saying that it's kind of like a bumpy ride, it's going to be one of those movies where the teens are going to go out in droves to see this, hoping for scares. And I think based on the jump scares and the creepiness of the way that the animatronics look, may win people over. But for me, I got to be brutally honest, it just wasn't quite enough. It's kind of like they don't really, it's like they're not scary to look at or anything. And the way that they kill people is supposed to be brutal and gruesome, but in my theater, people were laughing at it. They were laughing at how they were killing. And it's kind of like, well, that's not exactly what I was thinking was going to happen here by the reactions of people laughing at it instead of going, ah. And the story here, the story had the potential to go off and become something greater, like on the scope of a Sinister or with the kids, right? That kind of element where there's something going on where these kids are really, really dark, and it just goes off in tangents where it's like, oh man, I don't know. So I would overall, I think when it comes down to it, the watchability factors out of a possible 2 points, I say if you're a fan of the game, it's worth checking out. Do you need to check this out in theater? No, because it's coming out on Peacock today as well, guys. So if you don't want to sit in a theater with a bunch of rowdy teens that'll be on their phones for all the time, then just watch it on Peacock. But if you are a teen and you're out looking for this, and if you're a fan of the game, then you could easily bump this up to 1.5. That's a 6 out of 10. But that's really being gracious for me. I would give this a 5.5. Whoops, sorry. I would give this a 5.5, and all of that is mostly the acting. Yeah, 5.5 for Five Nights at Freddy's. We have one more order of business before I wrap up this review, because people will be comparing. Well, James, how does Five Nights at Freddy's compare to Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage, who also plays a nighttime guy that goes to a place with animatronics in it that come alive and kill people? How does it compare? Well, Willy's Wonderland is more what I thought Five Nights at Freddy's was going to be about, that he's got to fight these animatronics, and it's going to be kind of like round 1 and 2 kind of thing. And I thought that Josh Hutcherson would not have the same kind of charisma that Nicolas Cage had. So it is worth talking about, but it's kind of like they deal with the same elements, but it's kind of like the animatronics I thought would stand out because Jim Henson did it for Five Nights at Freddy's, and they looked okay, but it's kind of like they're two different stories, and a lot of that has to do with the dramatic story from Josh Hutcherson and his brother and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, well, you're really shoehorning in the how that story wraps up into the Freddy Fazbear story. So out of the two, I would say I had more fun watching Nicolas Cage throw down with the robots. It did have the crass teenagers coming in and breaking in storyline as well, kind of thing. That had Kaylee Cowan in it, so that was kind of cool with Nicolas Cage. What made it interesting, though, Willy's Wonderland, is that Nicolas Cage doesn't speak a word of dialogue in it. He just comes in jacked on energy drinks. And you're like, is he hallucinating all of these things? And as you can see, some of the animatronics are somewhat similar in their execution from Willy's Wonderland to Five Nights at Freddy's. There is going to be that comparison. Maybe not a lot of people know about Willy's Wonderland, but out of the two, I would say I preferred Willy's Wonderland. All right, guys, that's my review. What did you guys think about it? Are you going to go out and see it this weekend? Or are you going to watch it on Paramount Plus? As I said, it's softball horror. So if you've got company that you're like, well, I don't know if I want to watch a horror movie, this might be your bag then, because it's really not that scary, and you could have fun with it if you're having a fun time. But other than that, I think I have to agree that it's really not all that good. What did I give? I gave it a 5.5, and I stand by that. All right, guys. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments section below. You're watching Mirror Domains. If you like this kind of stuff, follow me on all my other social media handles there, where you can find like behind the scenes stuff on the Instagram and TikTok. But what else can you find here on the channel? We do full live movie reactions for things like Pain Hustlers on Netflix. We're doing that this afternoon. Come join us for that. Of course, my review will be cut out and put up on the channel later on today. My review for Killers of the Flower Moon, very controversial review there too as well. We're watching Survivor right now and Hell's Kitchen, so come join us for that during the week, Thursdays and Fridays. We watched the entire series of Fall of the House of Usher. Great, phenomenal series. Mike Flanagan delivers once again. Unbelievable. And then, of course, then we do movie news 2 or 3 times a week here, where we talk about all the trending new movie news headlines. And if movies are your bag, come join us here on Mirror Domains. I'll be happy to have you come join us on this journey. All right, guys, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains. All right, let's take some live comments here. I think 5.5 is gracious, because I don't think a lot of people are, it's not resonating with a lot of people, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm going to act like a chimpanzee watching Friday Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, it's one of those movies where it's kind of like you just turn off your brain. You might have fun with it. Derpy says, how was it? Entertainment, yo, Derpy. Our glass puts up his blouse. I'll ditch the potential teenage punch-ups and watch Five Nights Freddy's in house. Yeah, that's the thing too. Remember we covered that on the Twitter verse yesterday, where we saw there was a fight at a Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know what they were fighting about. I wonder whatever happened to that. It's just, it's got 11 million views. Oh, they're talking about a time where that time I made the whole theater laugh. Where he's the scary parts people were laughing at because it was just that ridiculous, and you don't want that kind of reaction. Emma Tammy directs, and I don't know if this is a I don't know a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. Like, it seems like it was a competently made movie technically, except for the story execution. It felt like it needed a script rewrite. So I think she'll probably get another crack at filmmaking. Like, this was, as I said, it's not a terrible movie. It's not something where you'll be coming out and saying it's like one of the worst movies of the year. But it's also just not quite all that memorable. And I said that in some of my outtakes of my straight out of the theater reaction. She hasn't really done a whole lot of stuff. A lot of TV stuff. She did The Wind, Fair Chase. She's got something else upcoming called Dollhouse in pre-production. It seems like she knows what to do behind the camera. So, hey, first time out is not always going to be a big success, Emma, but sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. And I could be dead wrong on this too. Guys, as I said in my review, I think Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be one of those movies, just like Exorcist Believer, where everybody came out and said, no, guys, it's a terrible movie, but based on the brand property, it's going to make bank. And it was targeted towards 50 million opening weekend. I think it's probably going to make that, based on my experience yesterday for the amount of people that crammed in at that 4 o'clock show and was younger kids, are going to push it up that high. Maybe because people just don't know that it's also on Peacock. We'll have to wait and see. But that brings us back to our main headlines. Buffer says, better film, Friday Nights at Freddy's or Candyman 2021? We go easily Candyman 2021. All right. What else is opening up this weekend? Let's get into that. Because we do have some other movies opening up this weekend. Aside from Friday Nights at Freddy's, what else is happening? Well, Taylor Swift comes back into the theaters. I don't think that'll be number 1, though. I do think it'll go to Five Nights at Freddy's. And now I want to point this out, guys. Look how many shows are here. 8 shows a day for Five Nights at Freddy's, like every half an hour. It looks like it shows up. Because of the length of Taylor Swift and the length of Killers of the Flower Moon, only 3 shows a day for those. Um, well, actually, Taylor Swift's got 6 because he's got an AVX presentation and the normal regular presentation. Um, but because of the length of it, it's only an hour and 40 minutes, I think. It's got like 9 minutes of credits. I didn't look for a post-credit scene. I'm sorry, guys. Uh, but that could make the difference because it's got like 8 showings a day versus 3. The other movie opening up this weekend is Freelance. Freelance, um, with John Cena, and I will be sneaking out to a matinee of this weekend. Freelance. Uh, John Cena. Uh, I do want to check out this. I don't think it's on the tomato meter just yet, because not many people know about it. Not a lot of people know that it was coming out. 0% by 14 reviews. Oh, maybe I won't be sneaking out to it. But it's got Alison Brie and Alice Eve. No, I'm seeing it because of those two. Hollywood Reporter didn't like it. Even the most cherished daydream needs a bit of skill and finessing if it's to translate to the big screen, and that's where Freelance falls vitally short, yielding a non-uplifting escape and an unnerving bore. John Cena deserves better, and so do we. So he gave it 0? 0, guys? So nobody will like it. Richard Krause, Freelance is kind of a movie that once gathered dust in the direct-to-DVD bins in Blockbuster. Oh, bummer, man. Bummer. But it does open up, and it sounds like it's not being well received. This is the kind of movie where a day-and-day release on the streaming service wouldn't hurt it. I do like John Cena. I do like the premise that he's kind of like coming in to save her. Very much like the beginning of, what was it, Paradise Island or whatever with Sandra Bullock. Or what was it? I forgot that movie. Yeah, anyway. And I do want to see it. I want to see it, man. Rollerball Champion says, family trip to Friday Nights at Freddy's tomorrow. Kids twisted our arms, lol. Well, you'll have lots of screenings to go check it out, apparently. You'll have lots of ample opportunities every half an hour, it looks like. World's Greatest Dad in Mandarin opens up, Under the Light. I wish a theater near me was playing that Leo movie. After Death, a religious movie. And of course, then a lot of the theaters are playing like the greatest hits for the Halloween weekend, Coraline. So maybe I won't go see Freelance, guys. I don't know. Based on that review. See, look at this theater. They're able to play Taylor Swift 5 times a day. Why can't you guys? They did, James. They played it 6 times a day. Yeah, they did. No, so my bad. I misread that. Creator's still playing. Paw Patrol. Haunting in Venice is still playing? Wow. Nightmare Before Christmas and Beetlejuice at 10 p.m. Wow. Cool, man. So you got lots of picks for you guys opening up this weekend. And then, of course, on Netflix, later on today, well, today it started, opening up this weekend, you have Pain Hustlers. Pain Hustlers. Liza dreams of a better life for herself and her daughter. Hired to work for a bankrupt pharmaceutical company, Liza skyrockets with sales and into the high life, putting her in the middle of a federal criminal conspiracy. Conspiracy! Guys, yeah, that also opening up. And we are going to be watching that around 1:45-ish, 1:30-ish. I think I put it up for 1:30. It depends on how quickly we end the show today and I can get out for my walk. That's how that's what it depends on. But that's what's opening up this weekend. Let's continue on talking about Pain Hustlers because I pulled an article that's worth talking about. It's being directed by David Yates. David Yates of Fantastic Beasts. Fantastic Beasts director says franchise has been parked by Warner Bros. David Yates. So yeah, he directed Fantastic Beasts, and now he's got this project, Pain Hustlers, and it's not being well received on the tomato meter. but David Yates was acclaimed from his Fantastic Beasts, wasn't he? Well, the third one kind of floundered. Maybe I need to pull up his IMDb. That's what we'll do, and we'll take a look at that because he has had success, and people have held him in regard. David Yates, um, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Deathly Hollows. So he has done a lot of stuff that people adore. Fantastic Beasts 4 and 5. Okay, so he did the first Fantastic Beasts, right? And he didn't do the second or third one. No, he did. Fantastic Beasts, yeah, he did right there. Sorry, my bad. I'm misreading a lot today. Uh, but apparently that's all been shelved, and it's about time that that came down to a close. Um, yeah, David Yates. He's now going to be seen next for this Pain Hustlers, and Pain Hustlers. If you thought that Freelance was low on the tomato meter, um, zero. Well, you can't get any lower than zero. But Pain Hustlers is just around the same mark as. Well, it's actually a little bit lower than Freddy Fazbear there, 25%. But I'm watching it for Emily Blunt. That's the number one reason. And hey, I'll give it a fair shake. I'll be looking at it with all my five factors. And I don't know if David Yates kind of made um, the Harry Potter stuff not work for him. The the Fantastic Beasts franchise kind of ran into the ground there. Pain Hustlers is not off to a good start either, so he's going to have to try to regroup and come back, fight back into the game. Pfeiffer says, I'm hearing good buzz for After Death documentary about the afterlife. Oh, it's a documentary? Afterlife? I thought that was like a religious kind of thing. Let me pull that up on the IMDb. After Death, you mean? Sorry, After Death. Is that what that is? After Death. That's also opening up this weekend, right? Or it's been out for a while. Based on a real near-death experiences, After Death explores the afterlife with the guidance of New York Times best-selling authors. Okay, so it's a documentary, sort of, but it's got people playing characters in it. If it was documentary, it would be kind of like, well, yeah, nah, I don't know about that. Um, you're just getting testimonials of what people saw. They died. Um, yeah, I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole right now. We don't need to. Keep on target, James. Well, if you go out and do see Five Nights at Freddy's, I was surprisingly and happily, um, well, I was happily pleased to see that Catherine Newton and Lisa Frankenstein teaser was on the beginning of Five Nights at Freddy's. What is this movie about? Uh, well, Lisa Frankenstein is it's set in 1989. An unpopular high school girl named Lisa accidentally reanimates a handsome Victorian corpse during a lightning storm and starts to rebuild him into the man of her dreams by using a broken tanning bed in her garage. Yeah, so it's a bit of a silly kind of thing, but we just saw her in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania. This Catherine Newton, right? Uh, Catherine Newton. It's got Carla Gugino in it. That's cool. Janet Davis, Cole Sprouse. Um, yeah. The trailer played up that hamminess. I like going back to the 80s with the frizzy hair and stuff like that. That was kind of fun. Uh, Catherine Newton, I got nothing against. I think she's going to be a good actress for years to come, and I think she's got a great career ahead of her. This seems like it's a campy kind of thing. They know that it's silly, that it's the Frankenstein monster, and but it's kind of also kind of like, wait a minute, he's reanimated flesh, and you want to date him? Ah, Okay. Uh, yeah, it's going to be quirky. Let's see what people are saying about it in the comments. I'm happy for Zelda. This looks fantastic. Directorial debut. Oh yeah, we can talk about that right now. It's directed by Zelda Williams, daughter of the late Robin Williams. And if this is her directorial debut, color me intrigued. No, it's not. Look, she's got 11 other directing credits. That's not her directorial debut. She's done music videos. Oh, okay. So this is her first full-length feature then. She's done some TV stuff. Um, Lisa Frankenstein. Okay. But as I said, uh, it's campy. Comes out in February, right? February 9th for Valentine's Day. Lacey Dover. And I think it's gonna hopefully dance that fine line of that campiness with silliness and audaciousness. And hopefully this guy who plays Frankenstein brings it, because if it doesn't work, it's all on him, right? Or and maybe her as well. But I think it's got the potential there to be hilarious. And he does look like is that supposed to be like a play on Demon Barber? I don't know. It looks a little bit like it, right? But I'm looking forward to going back to the 1980s. Yeah, Lisa Frankenstein is giving me Warm Bodies vibes with Nicholas Hoult. Yeah, maybe like a mix-up of Warm Bodies with Demon Barber. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to sing, but it's probably going to have a lot of 80s throwbacks music. The score for it should be interesting. I think she's supposed to be like Madonna here or something like that, but I dig it, man. I dug the trailer. This looks like great. This looks great. I love the use of Kim Petras for the music. Definitely getting Heather's vibes from the trailer. Heather's, that's an interesting pull. Yeah. Guys, from Focus Features, did you guys check out this trailer? Are you planning to check it out? Like visually, things in camera look like they're well captured. Like, look at that shot. Um, Cinematography is interesting. And it should be hopefully just a fun time. Campy time. Lisa Frankenstein, February 9th. What do you guys think about that trailer? Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to publish a reaction to it, but you'll get this little clip out later on. Let's move on and talk about Aquaman 2 and some of the drama that's been going on behind the scenes there. The other day, they were talking about the Ben Affleck cameos, or I guess reshoots of it. For some reason, Joe Blow's not pulling that up. But at the time, remember, Aquaman 2 was supposed to come out like last year. It was supposed to come out before The Flash. And I'm sorry, guys, but for some reason, Joe Blow's not pulling up that story anymore. It's stuck. Weird. That's all I was going to talk about. That was that Ben Affleck did shoot some stuff, and it just doesn't make sense continuity wise anymore for him to be in the Aquaman 2 movie, because it was supposed to come out before The Flash. I did have proof and evidence of that, but for some reason it's just that article's not loading on anymore. Maybe they took it down. Aquaman 2 director defends creative choice in scaling down Amber Heard's role. Yeah, because of all the blowback. Elon Musk fought for Amber Heard to still be starring in Aquaman 2, and we heard all the drama behind the scenes of Momoa showing up drunk and mocking her, coming in dressed as Johnny Depp. But that's not what happened, guys. We understand that. That's just the way that he dressed, and he's not yeah. Then there was that choice to creatively cut back on her role, and you only saw one shot of her in the trailer. Does she have the ability to bounce back from all this madness? Was she the greatest thespian actor out there to begin with? Not really. I just she's got to take time off, and it's dangerous for an actress of her caliber to do that because she's not up there right now. Like Aquaman 2 was supposed to help springboard her to the level where she could take time off like Will Smith and be okay. She's not like that. So if she takes time off here and disappears, then it's going to be very, very, she's got to get back in the traditional way of working up the ladder again. And I don't know if she's got the chops, acting wise, to make that happen. And for some people who are the Amber Heard haters, I don't hate her, guys. Um, it was just a messy divorce, and we got to see how crazy that whole scenario got played out because it was put in the limelight for us. Um, People do crazy stuff. It's not an isolated thing that celebrities don't do crazy stuff. Yeah, they do. Um, but it looks like James Wan is going to stand by the decision to cut down her role. And let's see what he said. Talking about maybe doing a Tango and Cash. No. Oh, yeah, he said that was a buddy cop. Or so not, he said that Aquaman 2 is more buddy between his brother Orm and Aquaman. So it's not going to be more about the romance angle. Didn't really work in the first one either for me. We'll have to see. So he said, quote, "It's fair that Heard said that about the character being pared down because she wasn't in my head as I was working on this movie. Actors don't necessarily know what we directors behind the scenes are thinking about. But this was always my plan from the start. I pitched, yeah, right. It was always your plan to cut her down. I don't buy that BS. From the start, I pitched that the first film would be a romancing the stone type thing, an action adventure romantic comedy. Well, the second movie would be an outright buddy comedy. I wanted to do Tango and Cash. I don't know. I think that's just puffery. That's posturing for PR purposes. I don't buy that, James. Yeah, Bifer says in the live chat, Elon Musk's burned the house down for Amber Heard. Question: Elon has 100 homes. Yeah. Unfortunately, guys, Aquaman and Lost Kingdom is it's heading towards being one of the big bombs of the year. A lot of that has to do with how much money it cost because it got pushed around. It should have come out last year, and they should have just. I don't know why it got pushed to this year, and they thought about even pushing it more again. And it's like, no, guys, just have it come out. It's done. Get that chapter behind us, and it sucks because I like Patrick Wilson as an actor, so I'm looking forward to see Patrick Wilson with Jason Momoa doing that kind of buddy movie. As far as Amber Heard being cut down, that's fine. As far as Ben Affleck's scenes being cut out, that's fine because it just doesn't fit the narrative. I understand that. I think most people understand that, right? Let's move on. Let's talk about that Running Man reboot. With Arnold or without Arnold? Running Man. Stephen King remake is positive update 36 years after the original release. 36 years. Wow. Yeah, it was one of Arnold's first movies, right? Was like what his fifth or sixth movie, based on a Stephen King short story. So we got an update here. Simon Kinberg, who was one of the film's producers, shared a positive update on the status of the project while talking with Slash Film. He was promoting his new season of Invasion, whatever. Simon Kinberg. He's yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about him when we're done. This quote. Yeah, he's one of my favorite directors of all time and one of the favorite people. Just a great super guy. What? He's talking about Glazer? What's he talking about here? Running Man. Who was going to be slated to direct this? With Edgar Wright potentially helming the project next year. Edgar Wright. Now that catches my curiosity. Because I want to see Edgar Wright do more work like this, like Last Night in Soho. where it's more not a mishmash of genres put together like the Cornetto trilogy was, where it's kind of like, well, it's an alien invasion movie. No, it's more of a buddy movie. No, it's more of a drama. Oh, but it's funny. Oh, they got one funny scene in here, guys. Look, you've heard me say this countless and countless times. Shaun of the Dead had one funny scene in it, and people billed it as the funniest movie of the year. But it's more of a drama. It is. Sorry, but anyway, Edgar Wright. Last Night in Soho is my favorite of his, and I'm looking forward to seeing him take on more projects like that. And Running Man could be up there for me. So he said about Edgar Wright here's quote, yeah, he's one of my favorite directors of all time, one of my favorite people. Just a super great guy. Yeah, I hear that about Edgar Wright. Obviously a cinephile. We are working on it actively. He's actively working on the script with Michael McCall, and our hope would be that it's a movie that, again, all fingers crossed and luck and everything else go our way, and Edgar could be maybe directing next year. What's cool is that Edgar, completely separately before myself and Paramount, started down the journey of figuring out how to get the remake rights, which was complicated. He had tweeted just on his own, and I follow him obviously on every possible platform. He had tweeted that if there was one movie he could remake over, it's Running Man. There's potential there for Running Man, like The Deadly Game kind of thing, Jim Cotta, that kind of style, right? Rollerball Champion in live chat says, let's have some more Arnold sequels. Commando 2. I want to see Commando 2 as well. I wrote like a small little treatment synopsis of what I would do with a Commando 2. And it would be kind of like having Alyssa Milano, coming back and having like her daughter being taken, and she goes to Arnold to try to help her out. Like there's something there that could be done with that. But going back to the Running Man thing, yeah, the deadliest game and society being all caught up in that game. It's very Hunger Games, isn't it? Very Hunger Games. But it's just not with youth. There's some stuff there that could be done on an edgier tone. In the heyday, Paul Verhoeven would have been a master at doing this. Who directed the original Running Man, 1987? Paul Michael Glaser. Dynamo. Yeah, it was Dynamo, right? Oh, God, dies with his pants down. Who would you have as the big guy? As the TV show host? Who could you have as the big TV show host? Somebody who you wouldn't expect, like a Drew Carey. That would be interesting, right? Because that's what it's all based on. And then, of course, then you could bring in who the hunters are. There's lots of stuff that you could do with it. A dystopian future. Could you have Arnold? No, that would confuse people if you brought back Arnold into it, right? But they're working on it, guys. They're working on it. They're trying to get the rights all settled, and I'm sure if Edgar Wright's trying to get the rights to it, then he's probably got a script treatment of some kind, just like what I said. Pfeiffer says, I can't watch the new Running Man reboot because Schwarzenegger and Richard Dawson were just awesome in that movie. Yeah, they were. Battle Royale is another movie inspired by the Running Man. Yeah, Battle Royale. Exactly. Rollerball. My TV show host should be Steve Harvey. Yeah, Steve Harvey. Good call, Pfeiffer. That would be interesting, too. I would stick with George Clooney in the Damon Killen role. Yeah, George Clooney would be interesting. Because he's got that gravitas. And what made that role work in the original Running Man was that you didn't really think of, like, Richard Dawson, he was a TV show host. He did things like Family Feud and stuff, right? And you didn't think of him taking on that sinister angle to it, he did a great job. Sensational, right? He just had that way of talking and holding his hands and being able to sell the BS. You need somebody like that. Jesse Ventura was also in this, Captain Freedom, that workout video. Yeah. Let's see if I can pull that up because that was a lot of fun. It was also really 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 funny. Um,
Suffering. If the answer is yes, then you're ready
ready
for
for
Captain Freedom's workout.
yeah. That's the ticket. Yeah, no pain, no gain. So, so what do you guys think? Do we need another Running Man reboot? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Yeah, that's lots of fun. All right, let's talk about more sequels. Where are we at, James? Hocus Pocus 3. Yeah, that's it seems like it's going to happen. Hocus Pocus 3 writer teases sequel and wanting to bring back Hannah Waddingham. Guys, I'm really liking this Hannah Waddingham. I don't watch Ted Lasso, but I would watch it because of her. The clips that I've seen of her online, she's got that ability to be funny. But Hocus Pocus 3 writer Jen DeAngelo teases the Disney sequel as well, wanting to bring back the Hannah Waddingham. We haven't watched Hocus Pocus 2, so maybe we need to watch that together if she's going to be in it. I dig it, man. Yeah, Hocus Pocus 2 did deliver on Disney Plus. It got lots of views, and it was cool to see the three back, the three sisters back. Um, Maybe we can do a watch along for that on Monday or something. Because for Halloween, I didn't watch it. Halloween. Oh, guys, that reminds me. Next Tuesday, I don't think there's going to be any shows because I have to go into Toronto, and then I gotta spend time with my. Hopefully, I'm gonna go see my nephew and niece do some trick or treating. Gosh, so busy day for me next Tuesday. I'll try to get some stuff up, but I don't know how much time I'll have. I'll have to pre-record some stuff maybe. All right, but yeah, Hocus Pocus 2. Maybe next Monday we can watch that together. We're still in the story phase. We're still working on it, D'Angelo said. We've been working on some ideas, and it's been fun to dive back into that world. And we have so many directions in which to go, and so many new chapters to explore, the writer added. And the character of the Mother Witch. We've only scratched the surface of Hannah Waddingham's Mother Witch, she said. Okay. So she plays kind of like a Mother Witch. Fascinating. So they're writing it. Do you guys ever watch Hocus Pocus 2? Is it something that we should watch on Monday? I'll be down. Argyle says Hannah is great on Ted Lasso. She is a beautiful woman. Yeah, she is. She's striking. She's tall. I like tall. Interesting. All right. We got some various headlines here for horror while we're talking about horror. Let's get through them. The Soul Eater image gives a creepy first look at Maury and Bustillo's Alexis Leipsker adaptation. Sorry if I'm butchering that last name. An image. Okay, so this is Deep House. It has nothing to do with what the Soul Eater is. I don't know why that's there. God, Joe Blow. You're really dropping the ball here. Earlier this year, it was announced that the horror film from the filmmaking duo Julian Maury and Alexandra Bustillo would be adapted from Alexis Lampcaster's novel Soul Eater. Okay, with Virginia Lerden and Sandra Bonadere taking the lead roles, in which is currently in post-production to potential buyers. So it's in post-production. It hasn't been bought by any distributors or... Huh. Soul Eaters, the synopsis. He didn't scream. They never scream. Well, some well-kept secrets sometimes turn out to be too heavy to bear. When the disappearance of children and bloody murderers multiply in small mountain village, an old legend shrouded in sulfur reappears. An old legend shrouded in sulfur. Commander Guadagnaro and captain of the Gendarmerie de Roland are forced to join forces to uncover the truth. What the heck is that? What? Commander Guadagnaro and captain of the Gendarmerie de Roland. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, guys. What the hell? Okay, so just show me the image. It's in post production. Small town, huh? That looks like a fairly large building for a small town. What is this? Can I blow up that? Can I? Okay, so that's from behind. Somebody with antlers on and a bag over their head or something. I'm sensing low budgetness here, guys. Oh, weird. Okay, fine. Next. Terrifier 3 poster reveals the sequel is a Christmas horror movie. Well, we kind of knew that it was going to be around the Christmas time because that's what the creator said, right? So Art the Clown will be back despite being killed a couple times. I haven't seen Terrifier 2 yet. I just I heard the buzz for the Terrifier movies, and when I watched the first one, yeah, it was low budget and stuff. Yeah, his visage is creepy. I just 2 hours for a Terrifier 2, that's too long for me. 2 hours and 14 minutes, right? Or something like that. It's on Tubi. I guess I could watch it on the weekend and give you my thoughts, I suppose. The new Terrifier teaser poster. So there you go. Terrifier 3, Christmas time. Art the Clown. He is supernatural. Ooh, scary. Taylor Swift 1989 album drops today, guys, and it's got some extra songs from the vault. Are you guys going to go and buy this? Or if you're a Swiftie, you would. I'm a Swiftie. So I'm going to listen to it on YouTube Music first for the vault tracks, which are very interesting. But she and Jack Antonoff went back in time 9 years with the bonus material. Yeah, apparently they re-recorded some verses or something. They updated some of the lyrics or something from what I'm hearing. But it was also been announced that Taylor Swift has become a billionaire, which is cool because I am, as I said, Swiftie. And maybe I need to cut that out as a small short, right? Taylor Swift is now a billionaire, Bloomberg says. Cool. Yeah, billionaire. That's about, yeah. And you know what's going to be cool about her is that she'll spend it properly. Like, she'll give it away to charities and stuff. She's got what all the riches that she could possibly need, right? Cool. Good for her. So between that and the release of the Taylor's version of 1989, it's a good week for Taylor Swift fans. And if you haven't seen it yet, guys, go to the theaters to see Taylor Swift The Eras Tour movie. Go see it in the AVX theaters or the big sound IMAX screenings of it, and just rejoice in your fandom of Taylor Swift. Why not? She just seems like a grounded person. Like, she doesn't seem like she would be nasty to you if you waved at her and asked for an autograph. That's the way I get it. Billionaire. Taylor Swift. Cool. All right, guys, I don't really have that much more for hit or miss headlines. And the quicker that we get out of this today, we can get on to Pain Hustlers. So, sorry, I'm scratching my head here, Ron. I don't need to. General Ortega and Tommy Lee Jones star in the first trailer for Finest Kind. Finest Kind, Brian Helgeland's new movie that's going to be out on Paramount Plus. The movie is a drama full of action and mystery and stays true to Helgeland's signature style, as seen in films like Mystic River. Okay, so do you got a synopsis here for me? Maybe you should just put this up on the IMDb and pull it from there, James. Finest Kind. I do like Jenna Ortega. Great actress. She's going to have a bright future ahead of her. A crew of fishermen tread dangerous waters when their debts start piling up. So it's a little bit like The Perfect Storm a bit, right? Ooh, look at that intensity. Yeah, she's got that extra gear in her where she can just ramp it up. Paramount Plus original movie. And unfortunately, Tommy Lee Jones has turned into that um, uh, kind of grumpy man stereotype. He's turned into that, um, which is kind of a bummer because he is a good actor. He truly is. Finest Kind is the name of the boat. Ben Foster's in this? Well, sign me up. I don't know about Paramount Plus, but I'll definitely watch this movie if Ben Foster's in this. So he's the boat captain that's down on his luck financially. That is Ben Foster, right? Of course, he got to lead off with Jenna Ortega as a headline, and Tommy Lee Jones. But Ben Foster, no, that for us hardcore movie fans, we know that he's got the gravitas. Hell or High Water, Lone Survivor, 310 to Yuma. Lolita Davidovich is in this. Wow. We haven't seen her in a long while. I liked her as an actress a lot. She hasn't been working, has she? Finest Kind, CSI Las Vegas. She did 3 episodes. She has been working. A lot of TV stuff. 103 credits. She was in a lot of movies. Yeah, what was that with Wesley Snipes? Criminal Minds. Back in the 90s, right? Santa Fe, Jungle the Jungle, Touch, Dead Silence, Harvest of Fire, Now and Then, For Better or Worse, Cobb, Intersection, Younger and Younger. Raising Cain. Oh yeah, she was in Raising Cain with and she was in JFK. Raising Cain, I remember that. John Lithgow, Brian De Palma. Plays like a split personality. John Lithgow delivering split personality? Yeah, you want to see that movie with Lolita Davidovich. Cool. So she's going to be in this Finest Kind movie, huh? Cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch that full trailer during my lunch break. Jenna Ortega. Just like, look at. Oh, is there some. Looks like narcotics will be part of this story as well. Ben Foster was amazing in Hostage. Leave No Traces, yeah. Looks like it's got a stellar cast. I do want to check this out. Huh. Yeah, one thing about Jenna is that she's really short. That when she gets picked up here, hold on. Yeah, you can see how like she's even got the heels on there, or like the shoes that make her taller. I think she's under 5 feet. How tall is Jenna Ortega? Let's find that out. But the trailer looks interesting. Finest Kind, rated R. .5 millimeters. Meters, not millimeters. God. All right. How high is that in feet? I don't. I know I'm in Canada, but I'm of the generation where we don't use height and weight in metric. We use it. We still use in feet. In feet. 5 foot. So she's just barely 5 feet. Yeah. For weight and height, I still use the empirical stuff. I should use kg. I should get used to using kg, but whatever. I think I'm like 99.8 kg or something. barely 100 kg, I think. Whatever. Next. There's no next, James. There's Twitterverse, and we'll finish this up. Finish it out today. David Fincher's The Social Network for a possible sequel. David Fincher's going to have a new movie coming out called The Killer with Michael Fassbender here in November. We will be watching that because it is on Netflix. We will be doing a full live watch along. Could there be a sequel? They would have to set the record straight on some of the things. I don't know if the dramatic spin on it would work as well. I don't know. Chad Stahelski's Highlander reboot starring Henry Cavill is going to begin filming next year. Good. It's about time. The budget will be north of $100 million. I'm surprised that this movie hasn't been shot already. Again, this is not a story that needs to be cracked. And we were just talking about movies getting rebooted from like the 80s, right? Like The Running Man, Highlander. It's about time. We need it. Five Nights at Freddy's holds 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, but yeah, it's going to be immune to criticism. The Killers is in the local movie house right now, says Pfeiffer. Or is it? The new look at David Fincher's Killer.
Empathy.
I want to see it because of Fassbender. Talk to Me is now on the Netflix in UK. Pain Hustlers, Netflix today, yes. Terrifier 3 will be being set during Christmas. Yes, we know about that. Robert Pattinson for Dior. I like the cut of those pants. A little bit loose. I don't like the skinny look for pants. Jacket looks pretty cool. Five Nights at Freddy's made $7 million in Thursday night preview. So it's gonna be number one. It is. Five Nights at Freddy's, when it come Monday, when we do the box office report, it's gonna be number one. I just don't know if it's gonna hit that $50 million mark, and it could. I won't be shocked if it does. New episode of Loki is up. Five Nights at Freddy's is now on Peacock as well, guys, so you can stream it if you want. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series is in the works for Amazon with Veena Sud as the showrunner. I really wish we got the sequel with Rooney Mara and Daniel Craig, but Daniel Craig didn't want to take a pay cut because Dragon Tattoo cost so much money, and it just wasn't as profitable as they wanted it to be. Fincher did a great job with it. David Fincher, he did. And Rooney Mara was perfect in that role. It was so hard to pick up after Noomi Rapace. But Rooney did a great job. And I want to see more of Rooney Mara too. Anyway, cool stuff, guys. Cool stuff. Oh, yeah. That trailer for Crown Season 2. Elizabeth Debicki looks like she's nailing it. Like she almost looks like her, doesn't she? I'll never look at the hot iron after watching Dragon Tattoo, yeah. Elizabeth Debicki is a good actress. She is. Timothée Chalamet. Freelance is now playing in theaters. He isn't built for a desk job. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'll use my points to go see it. Taylor Swift and Blake Lively in New York. They are friends, right? She's friends with like Ryan Reynolds and stuff. Priscilla opens up next week. It's having its premiere this week in LA and New York. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. What's this? Taylor Swift has been spotted with Deadpool 3 director Sean Levy because they are friends. Sean Levy appeared in her short movie. They are friends. So, guys, that's not obscene. People just further speculate. Is she going to appear in Deadpool 3? Who knows? It'd be cool if she did. She can act. She can act. I'm going to add the old heart to that. All right, let's end it off with her. Yeah, Taylor. There it is. My inspiration, my muse. All right, guys, that's the way that the movie news headlines are. Come join us later on this afternoon for Pain Hustlers. full live reaction here on Mirror Domains. If not, go and see Five Nights at Freddy's. You got some options. And enjoy your weekend from me here at Mirror Domains.